Bec, congratulations on the big win. You stand here today as the winner after all the injuries and everything that you've been through. Tell us how you feel about that.
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. I think it's the first time I've actually cried after a fight. I couldn't hold it in. I'm like, stop being such a pussy. But yeah, it felt amazing. You know, you never know what you're going to try to, you don't know what you're going to be once you come back from a big injury like that. So I was just like, yeah, I'm here. I haven't changed. I'm back, you know.
You obviously trained with Alliance, a fantastic team over in the States. How vocal and how much influence have they had on you leading into this fight? And tell us about some of the improvements and experiences you went through there coming into Brisbane.
Yeah, I feel like every time I go to Alliance, I come back like a completely different fighter. It's an amazing team, and it's just like, it's my second home. It's my family out there, and I have the ability, I actually stay with Dominick Cruz when I'm out there, so he's like forever educating me and teaching me and training me at home, like training my brain and getting me to think more out there. And I felt like it really showed, you know, Eric Del Fiero, he's like a mastermind, and he knows he's figured me out like a puzzle, and he knows what makes me perform better and what doesn't. So I feel like every instruction he gave me out there, I was listening and I was trying to put it together out there. So I feel like it was an amazing camp, and yeah, just grateful to have them.
We've heard that Dominick Cruz, there's a little bit of madness to him in his method. There was a story where he woke up in the middle of the night and he counted how many sparring sessions and training sessions he had until his fight. You then sort of followed suit and started doing the same. How does that help you in the lead up to the fight?
I feel like it's just a reassurance. You know, you want to make sure you've got all the boxes ticked, and you know going into that fight that you have done absolutely everything in your power to win that fight. There's nothing that you couldn't have done. If you go out there and lose, then you know you did everything you possibly could. So it's just a part of that. It's just knowing that you've put in the work, you've done these hours, and nothing out there could change it, you know, change the outcome. You just got to go out there and put the best show on that you can.
Your injury that you suffered before your last fight, it was right at the end. You were about to fight. I believe you were just cutting weight pretty much, and then you had to pretty much scrap that whole camp. How does this camp compare to that previous one? Because from everything that you've said, that was a really good camp for you.
Yeah, it's just like I kind of, obviously I had to rehab my leg and get that back to closest to 100% as you could. I felt like it was just like building blocks. You know, I had that base block there, and I was just adding more bricks and building to it. So yeah, it was amazing just to be able to pick it up from where we left it. And I felt like obviously my timing and my footwork and things like that, I had to really get my leg firing because it wasn't used for like 4 months. So I had to really focus on that. But other than that, my skill set was the same. We just kept building to it.
You said get the leg as close to 100% as possible. Is it now at 100%, or is it still sort of on its way, no?
No, you know, I have to change the way I grapple a little bit. I use my hips a lot, and my left hip is still a little bit seized up, I guess you could say. I can't really get as much flexibility in it, so I have to try to change things the way I used to do it, which isn't a bad thing because, you know, you always want to evolve and put new tools in the tool belt. So yeah, it's not really a bad thing, but I reckon, you know, another 3-4 months or so and it'll be 100%.
During the fight, Ham had you in a triangle choke. It was an interesting spot in the fight. A lot of people thought there was perhaps she was close to locking it in. It looked like, from where we were sitting watching the TV, that she had her legs locked in, but you obviously kept your arm in. Tell us about how close were you to tapping? Were you in danger at all during that point?
No, I'd rather go to sleep than tap. Unless they're going to break a limb, I'll go to sleep. It's actually peaceful. But yeah, that escape, or it's not really an escape, it's a stall until they give up. I learnt years ago at my first camp, my coach was here in my corner, and he knew, he was like, put the knee to the ground, Rowdy, and I knew straight away, so I did it. It was just an old school move that I've been working on and using for a long time. I was able to throw knees from there and really take the wind out of her until she lost. She was using all her power, all her strength in her legs to keep that, and I knew she couldn't get it, so I waited for her to gas her legs, and then I popped out.
Yeah. Obviously, she's known for her kickboxing. How did you feel in there with her? Because you were able to really dish out some good strikes against her. And would you say that she's been one of your tougher opponents as of late?
Definitely. You know, it was awesome to go out there and actually just stand and have like a striking chess match with someone. You know, most girls, once I land that right hand, they don't want any more of it. And she's got a hard head. She can take a punch because I gave her everything I could give her. So, yeah, it was cool. It was a little bit frustrating because she wouldn't drop. I'm like, why aren't you dropping? Other than that, it's cool just to go out there and show you my boxing has really improved, my skill set's really improved, and there's a different fighter out there.
Hey, Bec, talk to us, why the emotion? Why the crying? Like, what about this fight made you so emotional?
I guess I just really, really wanted it. And it was the injury. It was just a real big emotional build-up. Just being stuck on crutches for 3 or 4 months, it can kind of mess with you a little bit. You kind of feel like that you're useless. So, yeah, it was just cool to just prove that I can still come through adversities and come out a better fighter at the end. And obviously I really need the friggin' money for my kids, so that's another thing. No, they weren't. They wanted to come. This is the first time they've ever showed interest in me fighting, and they were upset that they couldn't come. But I told them, I'm going to hurt her so bad I'll make you cry, so you probably shouldn't come.
And a couple of wins in a row now. What would you like next? What's the plan from here?
I'd like to fight a ranked fighter. I want to climb that ladder, and after that gold, I want to be the best in the world. In my head, I'm the best in the world, so I just need to go out there and prove it and fight the best to get there.